Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So this update is about unfortunate love, and this episode is how Rishi got to know that he is actually in love with Lakshmi. You know that Lakshmi has been facing a lot with Rishi and his family, and Rishi is so confused. He doesn't know who he wants to be with between Lakshmi and Malishka. Please keep watching to find out. Rishi tells Lakshmi that you are good. He apologizes and says sorry to Lakshmi. Lakshmi says that why is Rishi apologizing to her? Rishi says I am apologizing in case I hurt you in the future or if something wrong happens to you because of me. Lakshmi asks Rishi that why is he getting sad, thinking about what would never happen in the future. Lakshmi says that she knows that Rishi can never hurt her. Rishi says, what if I do what you think I can never do? Lakshmi says, I know you will never do anything to hurt me. Lakshmi tells Rishi that I know that you respect women so much. She reminds him of what he told her when he made her meet Neelam and says you had said that you respect and love your mommy the most, and says the person who respects his mother cannot do anything wrong with another woman. Lakshmi tells Rishi that now you love me so much, you cannot hurt me. She says you are the best man after my father and your father. She asks Rishi not to cry and says I am safe with you. Lakshmi asks Rishi to go and rest. Rishi asks Lakshmi to go and sleep. Lakshmi says first you sleep, then I will sleep. She says I have the magic to make you fall asleep, and she asks him to come with her. Lakshmi covered Rishi with a blanket as he rests on the bed. She then sits beside the bed. Rishi asks, what are you doing? Lakshmi lies down beside Rishi and says I want to do magic. She keeps her hand on Rishi's head and asks Rishi to close his eyes. A song plays in the background. Malishka thinks of Kiran's words that Lakshmi will give Rishi peace, and that is what Rishi wants, and then he would forget about Malishka. Lakshmi sees that Rishi is asleep, holding her hand. She smiles. Malishka couldn't sleep, and she thinks that I cannot fight with my Rishi so much. I will try to make him happy, and then he will realize that I am his happiness. Malishka thinks that who wants to stay with a fighting person? She says, I love you, Rishi, and I will change for you. Rishi wakes up and sees Lakshmi sleeping, holding his hand, sitting on the floor. He asks her why she is sleeping on the floor. Lakshmi says, your hand was in my hand and that is why I slept. Lakshmi tells Rishi that she was feeling good holding his hand. Rishi says, I want to say something, and says, I am not a shameless person. Lakshmi asks, what do you mean? Rishi says, yesterday, you told me that I am shameless in the party. Lakshmi says, I was saying it to myself and not for you. Rishi tells Lakshmi that you said that you like to hold my hand. Did you lie about that? Lakshmi says no, I didn't lie. Rishi tried to say something and asks Lakshmi to go. Lakshmi takes off the clothes from the cupboard. Rishi looks at Lakshmi and turns. Lakshmi looks at Rishi. Rishi says to himself that I wanted to tell Lakshmi that she can hold my hand at any time, but how will I tell her? I am going to snatch all her rights from her. Malishka calls Rishi and says good morning my love. Rishi says good morning. Malishka asks if anyone is there. Rishi says no, but I was thinking about something. Malishka asks Rishi to come to her house. Rishi says okay. Kiran asks the servant to give breakfast to Malishka. Malishka comes out and asks Kiran. Kiran says I am going to meet Neelam and says I will tell you what the matter is between me and Neelam. Malishka thinks that Rishi might know what is between Neelam and her mother. Rishi checks his work file. Lakshmi gives him some files and says I will make breakfast. Rishi refuses. Lakshmi says, do you want anyone to say that you have a bad wife and she doesn't take care of you? Rishi says, I will tell the truth to everyone on how much you take care of me. Malishka calls Rishi and thinks that why is he not picking her call? Lakshmi asks, really? Rishi says yes. He says, nobody has taken care of me like you, and says, just as you made me sleep in the night, all my tension was gone, and I did not know about you. I don't know how you did it. Lakshmi says it is a magic and she smiles. Rishi asks Lakshmi that how can you sleep? Because I was holding your hand. Lakshmi sees Malishka's call on Rishi's phone and she shows it to him that Malishka is calling him. Rishi asks that how did you know that it is Malishka? I haven't saved her name with the number. Lakshmi tells Rishi that you saved the number with my forever and that is Malishka's perfume brand. So you have saved Malishka's number with her brand name. She says I am smart and you have said that I am. Rishi says I usually call you a Mumbai chick. Lakshmi smiles and she goes. Rishi thinks that why did he not like Lakshmi? What is his problem? He thinks of how Lakshmi had taken care of him and how she always saved him. Rishi thinks that Lakshmi is good and he thinks that he is liking her already. He thinks to change his clothes and he sees his clothes on the chair. Rishi thinks that he thought to stay away from Lakshmi, but Lakshmi has kept his clothes for him and she does everything for him. Rishi is confused and he wondered what is happening to him. He fought with his confused feelings and he goes to change. Malishka asks the servant to make coffee for Rishi and her. Kiran comes to meet Neelam. Neelam hugs Kiran and asks her to sit. Kiran asks, "Why did you call me suddenly? My BP is shooting." Neelam says, "My son loves Malishka very much." Kiran says, "We all know this." Karishma asks Neelam that what are you doing to make Malishka and Rishi come together? She says Rishi loves Malishka, but Rishi is with Lakshmi and Malishka is planning to marry Viraj. Neelam says Rishi cannot break the promise made to me. Rishi is with Lakshmi for my sake. Neelam tells Karishma and Kiran that when I congratulated Malishka, Rishi was silent. She says Rishi is a good son, but I am a bad mother and I haven't tried to save his love. She asked Kiran to make Malishka understand not to marry Viraj. She says I guarantee that Rishi would marry Malishka after a year. Kiran tells Neelam that I know that you can do anything for Rishi's happiness. I can do anything for Malishka too. She says Abe has convinced her to marry Viraj. I am helpless. Karishma says I think that you should talk to Rishi. Rishi is going from there and he stops hearing them. He asks, "What do you want to talk to me about?" Ayush and Neha collide in the market. Ayush asks, "Why did she come here?" Neha says to buy veggies. Ayush asks Neha to buy potato for Shalu and he is about to go. Neha pretends to be sprained. Ayush comes back to her. Neha asks Ayush to take her to the doctor indirectly. Ayush takes Neha to his car. Neelam hugs Rishi and says, "I know that you are not happy. I know you love Malishka so much and your heart is broken after hearing about her marriage with Viraj." She says, "I will talk to Malishka and I will make her understand." Rishi says that is not needed. He says, "I was sad when I heard about Malishka's marriage with Viraj, but now I am okay." Neelam tells Rishi that I heard that you are still talking to Malishka. Rishi says don't take stress and says me and Malishka have taken the decision to go our separate ways. Rishi says Malishka is not ready to wait for me and I cannot leave Lakshmi until 1 year. He says he has to go for an urgent meeting and Rishi goes away from there. I'm sure you guys will be wondering that who is Viraj again? Well, Viraj will make entry into the show very soon. Viraj is actually the person that Malishka is using to make Rishi feel jealous. Meanwhile, Viraj actually was in love with Malishka, truly, just the way Lakshmi is in love with Rishi and Rishi is playing with Lakshmi's mind. That is exactly how Viraj is also in love with Malishka and Malishka is playing with Viraj's mind just to make Rishi feel jealous so that Rishi can actually decide to get married to her. So, in fact, the story was, it was going on like that, but this is an episode spoiler of how Rishi got to know that he is actually in love with Lakshmi. So if you're following ZeeWorld Reloaded, then you will definitely get to see the step-by-step episode before you get to this point. But if you are watching from here, then you'll be getting episode spoilers from here. So the next episode spoiler that I will be dropping is how Lakshmi finally got to find out the truth about Rishi and Malishka, and that is when Rishi and Malishka will be getting married in secret. So Lakshmi will get there and see them both getting married and she will be shattered. There will be a lot of drama and stuff. So just stay tuned for that because I'll be dropping it today. I just crossed my hand though. I'll be dropping it today, finger crossed. Thank you for watching. I will see you all again in my next video. Bye guys.